Alright. Let's see if that fixed the issue. Twitch. Okay. Alright. We're good. Okay. Alright. Alright. Now that we have that taken care of, how is everybody today? I apologize for the delay. Doom scrolling and my shoulder has been bothering me quite a little bit. So I was whatever. We are here. And everything looks to be as it should. We are doing the Charnel House at Evergreen Mills today. That is going to be these guys way over here. I forget what the Charnel House is, but it doesn't sound too happy-go-lucky sort of a place, so I'm sure we'll find some grisly stuff there. I am joined by my lovely assistant, Mr. Gnome. Say hi to the people in internet land. He has taken a particular liking to the new comforter. That's the only thing he's noticed. I mean, we've got new pillows and everything. I got one of these nice cooling gel-filled foam pillows for my back. It's still a little squishy, but it's enough where it doesn't push me out of the seat and make me completely uncomfortable. As I said, my shoulder has been giving me a lot of problems, and it's right here in the meat, like in the right here. Something really fucked up back in the day when I was working for the chimney sweeps, yeah, it's been giving me trouble ever since. So, before we start, we're going to medicate, and I'm going to check. Yeah. So, I believe the problem had to do with resyncing Restream with OBS. Because usually when I go live, they all pop up and go do their thing like without me doing anything. So tonight we're smoking on Medusa. This is a new release. I mean, not like we've had Medusa before, but this is a new batch, and it's very nice. Have you seen any Martian? How's everybody's weekend? Well, starting. How was your week? Was everything good? Was it a profitable week? the week's been pretty good so far for me. I can't complain. I mean, I could, but like, what use would it do? Hoping to get to spend some quality time with Miss Ashante this weekend. See if I can convince her to come over here and hang out for a little while, and then we'll go back to her house, and I'll spend the night over there. I gotta make sure they're everyone is taken care over here, because even more than usual, people are going to be gone. So I gotta make sure all the kitties are fed. I'm not sure if anybody's staying behind. But there's at least 4 down here and 3 upstairs that need to make sure that they have food while I'm gone. I'm still gonna have to come back at some point early in the morning so that I can make sure they get breakfast and do whatever. But as long as they have food throughout the night, I should be okay, at least until the morning time. Because, you know, cats don't have thumbs. I don't know how bad it can get with dogs, but having an automatic feeder with my cats would just create blimpy cats. So we don't do that. My one cat, Quattro, he would, if we had an automatic feeder, he would literally fucking live in front of the feeder. So for logistical reasons, we're probably going to start at the Charnel House. So that we can do some recon on Evergreen. Kind of remember a little bit and have a little bit of a game plan, but not entirely too much. But we're going to go check out the Charnel House first, right here. It's kind of equidistant between Smith Casey's and Fort Bannister, so I'm just going to go with Smith Casey's. I think that's where we're going to go. Last time I was here. Good. Not being fucking, assaulted as soon as I appear. Okay. Charnel House, so that way. No, what did I take?
Imagine having one of them lovely things with a deep ray wide and free. We turn it on Martians, we turn it on men. Bring everything down on their knees.
Nobody needs a fucking minigun. I think I already looted these. shoulder fucking hurts. God damn. Get the fuck out of my way, dude. What the fuck?
After fighting the artilleryman, I came at last to the Holland Tunnel, entered that silent tube.
Yeah, I already took all this
Anxious to
stuff.
know the fate of the great city on the
So,
other side of the Hudson. Cautiously, I came out of the tunnel and made my way up Canal Street.
go this way.
Reached 14th Street again with black powder, several bodies, and evil. Ominous smell from the grating cellars.
Be aware of our surroundings.
There
There you are!
Chinese officer sword. Look at that blazing sun. You could have maybe settled this sort of peacefully. Sort of. But you tried to kill me. So we're just gonna do this and this. Some of this. This. And this. And you can witness power of somebody consuming a book and then taking everything you have. All right. That's very nice. It's also very nice. And what did you have, my stupid friend? 5 bottle caps. That takes the sting away a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. So that's all the Charnel House was?
General persuasion
Yeah.
space. No life existed beyond the petty surface of our minute sphere. Now we see further. Dim and wonderful vision I've conjured up in my mind of life spreading slowly.
Railway spikes. I'll take that. Okay.
Throughout the inanimate vastness of the sidereal space. Remote dream. Maybe the destruction of the Martians is only a reprieve. For them and not for us.
Okay. So that was the Charnel House. I thought it was gonna be more gruesome, but it was not.
Begun this fun. Strange to watch children play. Strange to see young people strolling on the green by the new spring grass.
Why were you dead up here alone?
Strange to watch the sightseers enter the museum where the disassembled parts of the Martian machine are kept in public view. Strange when I recall the time of the story. Right.
Alright, so that is Evergreen Mills. Actually, it's that right there. This right here. This big ass fucking ravine in between the transmission lines in that there mountainside.
This is Orson Welles, ladies and gentlemen. Out of character to assure you that the War of the Worlds has no further significance than as the holiday offering it was intended to be. Mercury Theater's own radio version of dressing up in a sheet and jumping out of a bush and saying boo. Starting now, we couldn't soak all your windows, seal all your garden gates. did the best in space. We annihilated the world before your very ears and utterly destroyed the CBS. You'll be relieved, I hope, to learn that
Last great score in the West.
both institutions are still
These guys right here.
So goodbye, everybody, and remember, please, for the next day or so, the terrible lesson you learned tonight. That grinning, glowing, globular later in your living room is an inhabitant of the pumpkin patch, and if your doorbell rings and nobody's there, that was no Martian. It's Halloween.
Tonight, the Columbia Broadcasting System and its affiliated stations coast to coast.
And if you'll notice,
By H.G. Wells.
there's that right
17th in
there.
its weekly series of dramatic broadcasts featuring Orson Welles and the Mercury Theater on the air. Next week, we present a dramatization of 3 famous short stories. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System. Columbia Broadcasting System and its affiliated stations present Orson Welles and the Mercury Theater on the air in The War of the Worlds by H.G. Wells.
So I didn't do this in my first playthrough, but I believe there is a way.
Ladies and gentlemen, the director of the Mercury Theater and star of these broadcasts, Orson Welles.
We know now that in the early years of the 20th century, this world was being watched closely by intelligences greater than man, yet as mortal as his own. We know now that as human beings busied themselves about their various concerns, they were scrutinized and studied, perhaps almost as narrowly as a man with a microscope might scrutinize the transient creatures that swarm and multiply in a drop of water. With infinite complacency, people went to and fro over the earth about their little affairs, serene in the assurance of their dominion over this small, spinning fragment of solar driftwood, which by chance or design, man has inherited out of the dark mystery of time and space. Yet across an immense ethereal gulf, minds that are to our minds, ours that are the beasts in the jungle, intellect, vast, cool, and unsympathetic, regarded this earth with envious eyes. Slowly and surely through their plans
Not
against us.
really.
In the 39th year of the 20th century came the Great Dissolution. Near the end of October, business was better. War scare was over. All men were back at work.
That's
Picking up.
that is absolutely one way to motherfucking.
Forestry Service estimated that 32 million people were listening in on radio.
I mean,
Downtown New York, where you will be entertained by the music of Raymond Raquello and his orchestra.
it's actually a little bit easier than it could be because, well, sneaking around with Fox it's difficult. I mean, it's fun because, I mean, like, what are you gonna, like, slave monkey? As anybody, like, you know, at all, are you gonna tell Fox that he can't do what he wants? Just saying.
Observing several explosions of incandescent gas occurring at regular intervals on the planet Mars. The spectroscope indicates the gas is hydrogen and moving toward the Earth at enormous velocity. Professor Pearson
Provincetown, New York.
Serious? Am I too far away for that? Nope.
Though we may seem safe, he is fleeting. There is safety in mindfulness.
We are ready now to take you to the Princeton Observatory at Princeton, where Carl Phillips, our commentator, will interview Professor Richard Pearson, famous astronomer. We take you now to Princeton, New Jersey.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Carl Phillips speaking to you from the observatory at Princeton. Standing in a large semicircular room, pitch black together with an outline split in the ceiling. Through this opening, I can see a sprinkling of stars that cast a kind of frosty glow over the intricate mechanism of the huge telescope.
I think
Sound you hear?
what's really
This is gonna be fun. Yeah. Platform, going through the giant lens.
not quite sure how you fucking survived a point blanker, but
Telephone or other communication.
Any time, Mr. Phillips.
Professor, would you please tell our radio audience exactly what you see as you observe the planet Mars through your telescope?
Nothing unusual at the moment, Mr. Phillips. Red disc.
guess they were
Transverse stripes across the disc.
on
Why do you think now?
or they were off
Because
duty.
it happens to be at the point nearest the Earth in opposition, as we call it.
In your opinion, what do these transverse stripes signify, Professor?
Not canals, I can assure you, Mr. Phillips. Although that's a popular conjecture of those who imagine Mars as being inhabited. From a scientific viewpoint, the stripes are merely the result of atmospheric conditions peculiar to the planet.
Then you're quite convinced, as a scientist, that living intelligence as we know it does not exist on Mars?
Say the chances against it are 1,000 to 1.
And yet, how do you account for these gas eruptions occurring on the surface of the planet at regular intervals?
Phillips, I cannot account for it.
By the way, Professor, for the benefit of our listeners, how far is Mars from the Earth?
Approximately 40 million miles.
Well, that seems a safe enough distance. Just a moment, ladies and gentlemen. Someone has just handed Professor Pearson a message. While he reads it, let me remind you that we are speaking to you from the observatory in Princeton, New Jersey, where we are interviewing the world-famous astronomer, Professor Pearson. One moment, please. Professor Pearson has passed me a message which he has just received. Professor, may I read the message to the listening audience?
Certainly.
Ladies and gentlemen, I shall read you a wire addressed to Professor Pearson from Dr. J, the Natural History Museum, New York. Quote, 9:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Seismograph registers shock of almost earthquake intensity occurring within a radius of 20 miles of Princeton. Please investigate. Signed Lloyd Gray, Chief of Astronomical Division. Unquote. Professor Pearson, could this occurrence possibly have something to do with the disturbances observed on the planet Mars?
Hardly, Mr. Phillips. This is probably a meteorite of unusual size, and its arrival at this particular time is merely a coincidence. However, we shall conduct a search as soon as daylight permits.
Thank you, Professor. Ladies and gentlemen, for the past 10 minutes, we've been speaking to you from the observatory of Princeton, bringing you a special interview with Professor Pearson, noted astronomer. This is Carl Phillips speaking. We are returning you now to our New York studio.
This was definitely a bunkhouse. But, maybe it was...
Intercontinental Radio News, Toronto, Canada. Professor Morse of McGill observing a total of 3 explosions on the planet Mars between the hours of 7:45 p.m. and 9:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This confirms earlier reports received from American observatories. Now, nearing home, comes special bulletins from Trenton, New Jersey. It is reported that at 8:50 p.m. a few stray lights fell on a farm.
Now try and hide from them!
Really? Really, bro? Okay. Alright. Okay.
In the meantime, we take you to the Hotel Martinet in Brooklyn, where Bobby Millett and his orchestra are offering a program of dance music.
Thank you. So that's what they're keeping in Evergreen Mills. If you can get, you can also, if you can sneak in, you can cut the power so that it takes out everybody else in here. That's what I was trying to do, but I dropped down into the basin and Fox had to follow. So we went in screaming, blazing guns. So yeah. But there's a lot of ways you can come in and do the quest. You can come in from either end of the train yard, or as I did, like over Evergreen Mills Foundry. All right, folks, go do your thing. We've got some things to find.
That professor fellow was talking about Mars, so I was half chosen, half...
Yes, Mr. Wilmot, and then what happened?
Well, as I was saying, I was listening to the radio, kind of halfway.
Yes, Mr. Wilmot, and then you saw something.
Not first off, I heard something.
And what did you hear?
Hissing sound like this. Kind of like a 4th of July rocket.
Yes, then what?
I turned my head out the window and would have sworn
And
I
it
was
doesn't,
Yes?
seen a kind of greenish streak and then zingo.
it's not lucky either.
Something smacked the ground.
I think there's a lucky 8-ball that you can get in this game.
You frightened, Mr. Wilmot.
Well, I ain't quite sure. I reckon I was kind of riled.
Thank you, Mr. Wilmot. Thank you very much.
You want me to
No,
tell
that's quite all right. That's plenty. Ladies and gentlemen, you've just heard Mr. Wilmot, owner of the farm where this thing has fallen. I wish I could convey the atmosphere, the background of this fantastic scene. Hundreds of cars are parked in the field in back of us, and the police are trying to rope off the roadway leading into the farm, but it's...
I'm here!
They're breaking right through. Cars' headlights throw an enormous spotlight on the pit where the object half buried. Now, some of the more daring souls now are venturing in the edge. There's a cigarette stand out of the metal skin.
At your back!
Touching thing, he's having an argument with the policeman.
And it wasn't really good safe, but
Now,
whatever.
ladies and gentlemen, there's something I haven't mentioned in all this excitement, but it's becoming more distinct. Perhaps you've caught it already on your radio. Listen, please. Do you hear it? The curious humming sound that seems to come from inside the house. I'll move the microphone here. Now, we're not more than 25 feet away. Can you hear it now? Professor Pearson,
Yes,
Can you tell us the meaning of that scraping noise inside the thing?
possibly the unequal cooling of the surface.
I say, do you still think it's a meteor effect?
Metal casing is definitely extraterrestrial. Not found on this Earth. Friction with the Earth's atmosphere usually tears holes in meteorites. Smooth.
Something's happening. Ladies and gentlemen, this is terrific. This area of the thing is beginning to flake off. The top is beginning to rotate like a screw, and the thing must be...
Where did I come in? I came in.
Keep those things back! Ladies and gentlemen, this is the most terrifying thing I've ever
I
witnessed.
came in here, didn't I?
Someone
Yes.
calling someone or something. I
Came in through here.
turning out of that black hole through luminous discs. The eyes might be a face, might be all the heavens. Something raining out of the shadow like a great snake. Now it's another one, and another one, and another one. They look like tentacles to me. I can see the thing spotting now. It's large. Large as a bear. Glistens like wet leather, but that's face.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's described like a hard to support myself to keep looking at it. Awful. Its eyes are black, like a curve in the mouth. Kind of V-shape with saliva dripping from its women's lips. Seen it quivered, pulsating. Monster, whatever it is, can hardly move. Seems weighed down by possibly gravity. Something that thinks rising up now and the fact that seems plenty that wasn't not very experienced, but it's like can't find words. Well, I'll pull this microphone with me as I talk. I'll have to stop the script until I can take a new position. Hold on, will you please? I'll be right back in a minute.
Shit.
We are bringing you an eyewitness account of what's happening on the Wilmus Farm, Grover's Mill, New Jersey.
Fuck, man. There we go. Fuck.
We now return you to Carl Phillips at Grover's Mill.
Ladies and gentlemen, my honor. Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, here I am, back to the stone wall that joins this Wilmus Farm.
That was worth it.
I can get a sweep of the whole thing. I'll give you every detail as long as I can talk and as long as I can see. More state police have arrived. They're drawing up a cordon in front of the pit.
More fucking frag grenades.
No need to push the car back now. Willing to keep their distance. Captain, conferring with someone.
Ooh. Okay.
I separate with Professor Pearson. Yes, it is. Now they've parted. The professor moves around one side.
So, ladies and gentlemen.
Kick ass!
Those creatures know what that means, what anything means. Wait a minute, something's happening. Some shape is rising out of the pit. I can make out a small beam of light against a mirror. What's that? A jet of flame springs from the mirror and it leaps right at the advancing men. It strikes them head on. Lord, they're turning into flames. Now the whole field caught up by the woods of the fires. The gas tanks of the automobiles spreading everywhere. Coming this way now, about 20 yards to my left.
Come on, boys. Fresh meat.
Holy shit.
In the meantime, we have a late bulletin from San Diego, California. Professor Endelshofer, speaking at a dinner of the California Astronomical Society, expressed the opinion
So, the Evergreen
nothing more than severe volcanic disturbances on the surface of the planet.
Wasteland legend.
We continue now with our piano interlude.
I'm concerned about this area.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've just been handed a message that came in from Grover's Mill by telephone. Just one moment, please. At least 40 people, including 6 state troopers, lie dead in a field east of the village of Grover's Mill. Their bodies burned and distorted beyond all possible recognition. The next voice you hear will be that of Brigadier General Montgomery Smith, commander of the state militia at Trenton, New Jersey.
That was
I
fucking
am
nuclear
very
grade
requested
grenade.
by the governor of New Jersey to cities of Mercer and Middlesex as far west as Princeton and east to Jamesburg under martial law. No one will be permitted to
Actually,
enter
pretty
this
decent
area except by special pass issued by state or military authorities.
loot.
4 companies of
All
state
things
militia are
considered.
proceeding from Trenton to Grover's Mill and will aid in the evacuation of homes within the range of military operations. Thank you.
You have just been listening to General Montgomery Smith, commanding the state militia. In the meantime, further details of the catastrophe at Grover's Mill are coming in. The strange creatures, after unleashing their deadly assault, crawled back in their pit and made no attempt to prevent the efforts of the firemen to recover the bodies and extinguish the fire. The combined fire department...
Is it weird that I'm more excited for the lockpick than I am for, like, seeing a fat man? And more importantly, seeing microfusion cells.
In the meantime, we take you to... Just one moment, please.
I mean, one man could rule the world with a fat man, but meh.
Professor Pearson has been located at a farmhouse near Grover's Mill, where he has established an emergency observation post. As a scientist, he will give you his explanation of the calamity. The next voice you hear will be that of Professor Pearson, brought to you by direct wire. Professor Pearson.
The lazier.
The rocket cylinder to Grover's Mill. I can give you no authoritative information either as to their nature, their origin, or their purposes here on Earth. On their destructive instrument, I might venture some conjectural explanation. For want of a better term, I shall refer to the mysterious weapon as the heat ray. All too evident, these creatures have scientific knowledge far in advance of our own. It's my guess that in some way they are able to generate an intense heat in a chamber practically absolute non-conductivity. This intense heat they project in a
Like
parallel
these
beam
boarded up.
against any object they choose by means of a polished
Boarded up
parabolic mirror
walls.
of unknown composition. Much as the mirror of a lighthouse projects a beam of light. That is my conjecture of the origin of the heat ray.
Thank you, Professor Pearson. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the bulletin from Trenton. It is a brief statement informing us that the charred body of Carl Phillips has been identified in the Trenton. Now here's another bulletin from Washington, D.C. The Office of the Director of the National Red Cross reports 10 units of Red Cross emergency workers have been assigned to the headquarters of the state militia, stationed outside of Grover's Mill, New Jersey. Here's a bulletin from State Police, Princeton Junction. The fires at Grover's Mill and vicinity are now under control. Scouts report all quiet in the pit, and there is no sign of life appearing from the mouth of the cylinder. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have a special statement from Mr. Harry McDonald, Vice President in charge of operations.
We have received a request.
I didn't think that through.
Leaving the radio responsibility. Another bulletin from Washington, D.C. The Office of the Director of the National Red Cross reports 10 units of Red Cross emergency workers have been assigned to the headquarters of the state militia, stationed outside of Grover's Mill, New Jersey. Here's a bulletin from State Police, Princeton Junction. The fires at Grover's Mill and vicinity are now under control. Scouts report all quiet in the pit, and there is no sign of life appearing from the mouth of the cylinder. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we have a special statement from Mr. Harry McDonald, Vice President in charge of operations.
We have received a request from the state militia of Trenton to place at their disposal our entire broadcasting facility. In view of the gravity of the situation, radio has a responsibility to serve and...
Take you now to the field headquarters of the state militia near Grover's Mill, New Jersey.
This is Captain Lansing of the Signal Corps attached to the state militia, now engaged in military operations in the vicinity of Grover's Mill. Situation arising from the reported presence of certain individuals of unidentified nature is now under directly below our position, surrounded on all sides by 8 battalions of Indians. Without heavy field pieces...
Game's over!
Dude, come on, man.
Such cause ever existed is now entirely unjustified. some slight smoke in the woods bordering Millstone River. Probably fire started by campers. Well, you ought to see some action soon. One of the companies is deploying on the left flank. A quick thrust and it'll all be over. Oh, wait a minute,
This is bullshit.
something
Come
on
out.
the cylinder.
Yeah. Tear him apart.
Nothing but a shot. Now the troops are on the edge of the Wilma.
The more of you I kill in single combat, the less I have to deal with all of you at once. And Fox, I love you, but I want some of the kills too.
Now it's reaching above the trees and the searchlights are on it. Hold on.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have a grave announcement to make. Incredible as it may seem, both the observations of science and the evidence of our eyes lead to the inescapable assumption that those strange beings who landed in the Jersey farmlands tonight are the vanguard of an invading army from the planet Mars. The battle which took place tonight at Grover Mills has ended in one of the most startling defeats ever suffered by an army in modern times. 7,000 men armed with rifles and machine guns pitted against the single fighting machine of the invaders from Mars. 120 known survivors. The rest strewn over the battle area from Grover's Mill to Flamesboro, crushed and trampled to death under the metal feet of the monster, or burned to cinders by its people. The monster is now in control of the middle section of New Jersey, which effectively cut the state to its center. Communication lines are down from Pennsylvania to the Atlantic Ocean. Railroad tracks are torn and service from New York to Philadelphia discontinued except including some of the trains through Allison and Phoenix. Highways to the north, south, and west are clogged with frantic human traffic. Police and army reserves are
pole, I
unable to
guess.
control the mad flight. By morning, the fugitives will have swelled Philadelphia, Camden, and Trenton is estimated to twice their normal population. Every time we take you to Washington,
Put up a fight!
Citizens of the nation, I shall not try to conceal the gravity of the situation.
That's really nasty.
Nor the concern of your government in protecting the lives and
That's really
property of
fucking nasty, guys.
However, I wish
Really?
to impress upon you, private citizens and public officials, all of you, the urgent
They're all gonna die anyway.
and resourceful action. Fortunately, this formidable enemy is still comparatively small. To keep them there. Placing our faith in God. Each and every one of them. So that we may trust
Out of the fire.
and consecrated to the preservation of human supremacy on this earth.
Okay! Who's
Wait, stop!
the Interior speaking from Washington. War of the Worlds by H.G. Wells, starring Orson Welles at the Mercury Theater on the Edge.
Oh, she was a raider. Okay.
As I set down these notes on paper, I'm obsessed by the thought that I may be the last living man on Earth. I've been hiding in this empty house near Grover's Mill, a small island of daylight cut off by the black smoke of the rest of the world. All that happened before the arrival of these monstrous creatures in the world now is part of another life. A life that has no continuity with the present. Furtive existence of lonely derelict who pencil these words on the back of some astronomical notes buried in the earth. Richard Gibson. Look down at my blackened hands. Try to connect them with a professor who lives at Princeton and who, on the night of October 20th, glimpsed through his telescope an orange flash of light on a distant planet. My wife, my colleagues, books, Am I Richard Pierce? Days. Do days exist without calendars?
Our
Does
steps
time pass
must
when
be
there are no
measured.
human hands left to wind the clock?
Amen.
Writing down my daily life, I tell myself I shall preserve human history between the dark covers of this little book, then to record the movement of the stars. To write and to live, and to live I must eat. Find moldy bread in the kitchen and an orange not too spoiled to swallow. Keep watch at the window. Time to time I catch sight of a Martian
This
above
was
a
the
black
doctor's office.
Our steps must
smoke
be
still holds
measured.
the house in its black coil, but thanks to the hissing sound, suddenly I see a Martian mounted on his machine, spraying the air with a jet of steam, dissipating smoke. I watch in the corner as his huge metal legs nearly brush against the house. Exhausted by terror, I fall asleep. Morning. Sun streaming from the window. Black cloud of gas is lifted and scorched meadows north look as though a black snowstorm is passing.
Ah, this is going.
I advance to my house and make my way.
Well, if you had gotten to take that rocket launcher out, it might have been good. But not now.
North. For some reason I feel safer trailing these monsters anyway. And I keep a careful watch. I've seen the Martian. One of their machines peer over the top of the tree. That's not direct. Fill my pocket.
Okay.
2 days I wander in a vague northerly direction through a desolate world. Finally, I notice a living creature. A small red squirrel in a beech tree. I stare at him in wonder. He stares back at me. I believe at that moment the animal and I shared the same emotion. Joy at finding another living being. Push on north. I find dead cows in a brackish field beyond the charred ruins of a
We
dairy.
must walk
silo.
softly.
Ain't standing guard over the wasteland like a lighthouse. Deserted by the sea. Astride the silo perches a weathercock. The arrow points north. North. Next day I come to a city. City vaguely familiar in its contours, yet its buildings strangely dwarfed and leveled off as if a giant had sliced off its highest towers with a capricious sweep of his hand.
Where are you, buddy? Where are you hiding at?
I'm speaking from the Universal Broadcasting Building. Speaking from the Universal Broadcasting Building, New York City. The bells you hear are ringing to warn the people to evacuate the city as Martians approach. Estimated in the last 2 hours, 3 million people have moved out along the roads north. Hutchinson River Parkway is still kept open for motor traffic.
Where'd he go?
Boyd Bridges along Island.
There is
the
Smiley
dam.
Jack.
All communication with Jersey stores closed 10 minutes ago. No more defenses. Our army is wiped out. Artillery, Air Force, everything wiped out. Maybe.
Shh! Not too loud. I don't really want people to know that we're doing business. The rest of these guys around here might not want anything to do with you, but I got no problem with you. Well, not with your caps at least. Sure thing. Fresh out of that. Yeah, but...
It's the only way you're gonna get this this shotgun is by killing Smiling Jack, and he's a piece of shit anyway. So
Anyone on the air? Is there anyone on the air? Isn't there anyone? Do it. Well.
why won't it let me repair with?
You are listening to a CBS presentation of Orson Welles and Mercury Theater on the Air in an original dramatization of The War of the Worlds by H.G. Wells. The performance will continue after a brief intermission. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System. The War of the Worlds by H.G. Wells, starring Orson Welles and the Mercury Theater on the Air.
Get all my shit back. Keep that. Just in case anybody else comes back and needs anything.
As I set down these notes on paper, I'm obsessed by the thought that I may be the last living man on Earth. I've been hiding in this empty house near Grover's Mill. A small island of daylight cut off by the black smoke of the rest of the world. All that happened before the arrival of
Man, this is a lot harder than when I did it the first time.
the light. Life that has no continuity in the present.
I
Furtive existence, the lonely
definitely,
derelict.
I thought this was a lot.
These words
I mean, maybe it's because I got hit by all the fucking rocket launchers the last time I came through here, like when I first did this game, this location. I think I got everything.
October 20th. Glimpsed through his telescope an orange splash of light on the distance.
Yeah.
My wife, my colleagues, my students, books, my observatory, my world. Where are they?
Okay, that's where I came from.
Am I Richard Pearson? Days. Do days exist without calendars? Does time pass when there are no human hands left to wind the clock? Writing down my daily life, I tell myself I shall preserve human history between the dark covers of this little book that was meant to record the movement of the stars. Right, I must live, I must live, I must eat. Find moldy bread in the kitchen, orange nut, boil and swallow. Keep watching the weather. Time to time I catch Martian above the black smoke. Smoke still holds the house in its black coil, but makes a sound. And suddenly I see a Martian mounted on his machine, spraying the air with jet steam as if to dissipate the smoke. I watch in the corner his huge metal legs nearly brush against the house. Exhausted by terror, I fall asleep. Morning.
Oh, there are enemies here.
Black cloud of gas is lifted, scorched meadows north of a black snowstorm. I ventured from the house and make my way to the road. In their wrecked car, baggage, black snow. Push on north. And I keep careful watch. I've seen the Martian. With one of their machines peer over the top of the trees, I'm ready to fling myself flat on the earth. Come to a chestnut tree. Chestnuts are right.
Yo, what's up, Bravo? Where is the Bob?
2 days I wander in a vague.
Is it in here, or is it?
Finally, I noticed a living creature.
I mean, I didn't see a bobblehead in there,
Squirrel in a beach tree.
but I could have missed it.
He stared back at me. I believe at that moment the animal and I shared the same emotion. Joy at finding another living being.
I can always go back.
Push on north.
See if there's anything over here that I missed.
Charred ruins of dairy, silo.
That was quick.
Tried to silo first the weather on the arrow. North. Next day I come to a city. Building strange walls. Giant insects off the size of precious.
In all things, the calm heart must prevail.
The outfit. Newer. Undemolished but humbled by some will of the advancing Martian. Rather than being watched, I caught sight of something crouching in a doorway. I stepped toward it.
First mistake?
Rose up and became a man.
It was letting me get a shot in edgewise.
You low!
Many places. A long time ago from Princeton.
That's near Grover's Mill.
Yes.
Grover's Mill. There's no food here. This is my country. All this end of town down the river. There's only food for one. Which way you going?
I don't know. I guess I'm looking at people.
What was that? You hear something just then?
No, only a bird. A live bird.
You get to know that birds have shadows these days.
Safety
Hey,
in
bring
mindfulness.
Let's crawl in this doorway here and talk.
Have you seen any Martians?
No. We're going over to New York. Night, the sky's alive with lights. Because there's people who still live in them. By daylight, you can't see them. 5 days ago, a couple of them carried something big across the flats from the airport. I think they're learning how to fly. Yeah, fly.
Well, it's all over with humanity. Stranger than still you and I. 2 of us left.
Got themselves in trouble. They wrecked the greatest country in the world. Those green stars, they're probably falling somewhere every night. They've only lost one machine. There isn't anything to do. We're done. We're licked.
Where were you? You're in a uniform.
I was in the National Guard. There wasn't any war. Any more than there's war between man and ant.
Yes, but we're Egypt land. I found that out. What do they do to us?
Fill it all out. Right now, we're fought as we want. Martian only has to go a few miles to get a crowd on the run. They will keep on doing that. They'll begin catching us systematically. From the best, storing us in cages. They haven't begun on us yet.
Begun?
Not begun. All that's happened so far is because we don't have sense enough to keep quiet. Bothering us with guns and such stuff and losing our heads and rushing off the crowd. Instead of rushing around blind, we gotta fix ourselves up. Fix ourselves up according to the way things are now. Cities, nations, civilization, progress.
Yes, but if that's so, what better live for?
There's no way in here.
Here's your soul. Dinner's a restaurant. If it's amusement you're after, I guess you gain something.
What is
Dead
it?
house.
Life, that's it. I want to live. We're not going to be exterminated.
Really?
I don't need to be caught either. Pain, fat, bred like an ox.
Gonna do it.
Going on. Right into there. I got a plan.
Must be in the foundry somewhere.
That's why I watched you. Watched you. All those little office workers who used to live in these houses. They be no good. They haven't any stuck in it. Run off to work. I've seen hundreds of them run and catch their commuters train in the morning. Afraid that you can if it's
One in the northern shack.
afraid there wouldn't be any time for dinner. Lives, sure, a little investment, of action. There, members, worried about where you're at. Martians, they got you. Those nice roomy cages, good food, careful breeding, no worries.
Like somebody was hiding
Yeah,
here.
for a week or so, chasing around the field on empty stomachs, they'll come and you'll be glad to get them.
Thought it all out.
Better. That isn't all. These Martians are going to make pets of them. Train them through tricks. Who knows? Get sentimental with a pet boy who grew up and had to be killed. Yeah. Some maybe. They'll train to hunt us. Yes, they will. There's men who do it flat. Me fighting.
Meantime, you and I and others like us. Where are we to live? The Martians own the Earth.
All together. Live underground. I've been thinking about the sewers. Under New York, they're miles and miles up. The main ones, they're big enough for anyone. And there's cellars, vaults, underground storage.
Oh, I missed it. Oh, god damn it.
Strong men get. No weak. That rubbish. Out.
As you meant me to.
You can.
Won't quarrel about it. Go on.
You gotta make safe places for us to stay in. That's what all the books do. Science books. That's where men like you come in. You raid the museum. Or even spy on the market. You know, so much we have to learn before. Just imagine. 4 or 5 of their own fighting machines suddenly start off. Raid right and left. Not a Martian in them. Not a Martian in them, see? But men who learn the way how. Maybe in our time. Gee. Imagine having one of them lovely things with a heat ray wide and free. We turn it on
Oh,
Martians,
fuck.
we turn it on men. We bring everybody down on their knees.
That's your plan.
I even came back here. I missed that motherfucker. God damn. Well, thank you for reminding me, Merlin.
See?
Hey,
Alright, now we can get the fuck out of here.
Not to your world. Right, stranger. Well, after parting with the artilleryman, I came at last to the hollow tunnel into that silent tube. Anxious to know the fate of the great city on the other side of the Hudson. Cautiously, I came out of the tunnel and made my way up the canal. Reached 14th Street there again. Black powder, several bodies, ominous, radiant cellar of the house. Wandered up to 30th, 40th. Stood alone on Times Square. Caught sight of a lean dog running down 7th Avenue. Dark brown t-shirt. Back starving monster. Made a wide circle around it so that I might move the fresh competitor. Walked up Broadway. Strange powder. That's fast.
Seriously? Oh, I did get him on the last one. That was pretty good. I won't lie. That was pretty sweet. Let's see if we can catch the other one unawares.
Over the top of the General Motors building.
Can I get up here?
Suddenly I caught sight of the hood of a Martian machine. Standing same idea.
Messy.
From there I could
With a side of gruesome.
19 of those great metal titans, their columns empty, their steel arms hanging listlessly by their sides. I looked in vain for the monsters that inhabit those machines.
Very nice. Excellent follow-up shot.
active and disease bacteria against which their systems were unprepared. Playing after all, man set to fail. The humblest servant of God is witness for the fallen servant. Before the cylinder fell, there was general persuasion that the war was deep space. No life existed beyond the petty surface of our minute sphere. Now we see further. Dim and wonderful vision I conjured up in my mind of life spreading slowly from this little seedbed of the solar system throughout the inanimate vastness of the sidereal space. The most brief. Maybe that the destruction of the Martians is only a dream. Enough to us. Within my peaceful spirit. Writing down this last to watch children. Strange to watch the sightseers enter the museum where the disassembled parts of the Martian machine are kept in public view.
Also, the reservist rifle has an extra round in the clip. So, 3 rounds instead of 2,
There is reason for
which
me
is
cautious.
very cool. Be cautious here. Where? My dainty friend, where?
Game's over!
Are you seriously? That was a freaking mole rat.
To assure you that the War of the World has no further significance than as the holiday offering it was intended to be. Mercury Theater's own radio version of dressing up in a sheet and jumping out of a bush and saying boo. Starting now, we couldn't go all your windows and see
There's
all
a
your
death ball out there.
by tomorrow night, so we did the best thing. We annihilated the world before your very ears and utterly
That's
destroyed
a,
CBS. Be relieved, I hope, to learn that we didn't mean it, and that both institutions
is
are still open for business. So goodbye, everybody, and remember, please. Glowing, globular invader of your living room is an inhabitant of the hunting patch.
Oh, god damn it.
Nobody's there. That's fine. Halloween.
Tonight, the Columbia Broadcasting System and its affiliated stations coast to coast has brought you The War of the World by HQL, the 17th-minute weekly series of
The
dramatic
calm heart
broadcasts
must
featuring
prevail.
Orson Welles and the Mercury Theater on the air. Next week, we present a dramatization of 3 famous short stories. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System. Columbia Broadcasting System and its affiliated stations present Orson Welles and the Mercury Theater on the air in The War of the World by H.G. Wells.
Decent loot for being like an old abandoned church.
We know now that in the early
No
years of
more
the
games!
century,
Time
this world
to
was being
die!
watched closely by intelligences greater than man, yet mortal in soul. We know now that as human beings busied themselves about their various concerns, they were scrutinized and studied. People went to and fro of the earth about their little
here, kitty, kitty, kitty.
The war scare was over. All men were back at work. They... Particular evening, October 30th. Crossing service estimated...
Don't feel bad that you're... I was gonna feel bad for you a second. I thought you were a caravan. I was gonna come help you out. But then I saw what you were and I was like, oh, well, never mind.
This weather report comes to you from the governor's residence. We take you now to the Merging Room in the Hotel Park Plaza in downtown New York, where you will be entertained by the music of Raymond Raquello.
You were sent to kill me and you got ran up on by a fucking death claw.
It's over!
Is that a fucking 32 you got in your hand? Seriously?
That was too easy.
That was easy.
We interrupt our program of dance music to bring you a special bulletin from the Intercontinental Radio Bureau. At 20 minutes before 8 Central
I think we've been here before.
Mount Jennings Observatory, Chicago, Illinois, reports observing several explosions of incandescent gas.
Old Rib Roasters, yeah, we've been here.
Planet Mars. The spectroscope indicates the gas to be hydrogen and moving toward the Earth with enormous velocity. Professor Pearson of the observatory at Princeton confirms Farrell's observation and describes the phenomenon as, quote, like a jet of blue flame.
Be aware of our surroundings.
We now return you to the music of Ramon Raquello playing for you in the Meridian Room of the Park.
Yeah, this is where we picked up the Xiaolong assault rifle from Prime's body, but you have to have done the Museum of History quest with the Prime numbers.
And now a tune that never loses favor. The ever popular Charnel. Raymond Raquello on the drum. Ladies and gentlemen, following on the news given in our bulletin a moment ago, the Government Meteorological Bureau has requested the large observatories of the country to keep an astronomical watch on any further disturbances occurring on the planet Mars. Due to the unusual nature of this occurrence, we have arranged an interview with the noted astronomer, Professor Pearson, who will give us his views on this event. In a few moments, we will take you to the Princeton Observatory at Princeton, New Jersey. We return you until then the music of Ramon Raquello and the chorus.
I do have one or two of the Keller family tapes.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. After us speaking to you, the observatory of
And I think we've been to their actual bunker, but we couldn't get in because of the we didn't have all of the tapes.
Professor Pearson stands directly above me on a small platform, peering through the giant lens. I ask you to be patient, ladies and gentlemen, till the end of the ray that may arise during our interview.
Come on.
Besides the ceaseless watch of the heavens, Professor Pearson may be instructed by
There.
or other communication. During this period, he is in constant touch with the astronomical center of the Earth. Professor, may I please begin our session?
At any time, Mr. Cook.
Where did he go?
A red disc swimming in the blue sea. Transverse stripes across the disc.
I thought I saw a fucking
Think now
super
because
mutant.
Mars happens to be at the point nearest the Earth in opposition, as we call it.
Or was that just Fox glitching like a motherfucker?
Not canals, I can assure you, Mr. Note. Although, that's a popular conjecture, those who imagine Mars to be inhabited. From a scientific viewpoint, stripes merely the zone of atmospheric conditions peculiar to the planet.
Then you're quite convinced as a scientist that living intelligence as we know it does not exist on Mars?
There's a chance that yes, there is not.
Just a moment, ladies and gentlemen. Someone has just phoned 7 Why do you think that? Let me remind you that
So you do know where it is. Well, come on. Those super mutants can't be far behind.
Just over here, this large boulder. And now, the secret knot.
Hard limit, Philip. Probably a
And
meteorite
voila!
arrival at this particular time is merely a coincidence.
Now that's what I call a getaway, Terry. So tell me, do you take all your girlfriends here?
Oh, no, Miss Chase. I can assure you this will be our special place.
Listen to yourself, boss. This is Rockopolis, one of the safest places in the wasteland, and you just showed a stranger where it is.
Ignore my manservant's mutterings, Penelope. He has a penchant for the dramatic, you see. By one time...
Oh, I don't know.
Here I thought we were friends, and now you have a gun in my face. Bad form, Miss Chase, bad form.
Chatter all you want. In about 30 seconds, my associates from Paradise
Nice
Falls
call.
will join us.
I knew it. I knew this date was no good. But it's worse than I thought. She's the Black Widow, the leader of the slavers.
Quite right. We've been trying to capture these Rockopolis rodents for years. Never could have done it without you, Terry.
Looks like I've gotten us into one heck of a pickle, Argyle, old chum. One heck of a pickle indeed. Be sure and tune in next time for another exciting adventure of me, Herbert Daring Dashwood, and my stalwart ghoul manservant, Argyle.
Okay.
Oh my god. I thought I was... They... You're...
Paul, it's me, Tina. I heard back from my sister Candace. We couldn't get into a vault. 101, 87, didn't matter. All full to capacity. But my brother Alex is a soldier, and he sort of stole the passcode for a secure army bunker. He did it for the family, but they caught him. Before they took him into custody, Alex, he sent us each one number of the 4-digit code. That way we all have to be together to get in. He gave me number 5, the day of my birth. So I guess what I'm saying is, I'm still leaving. It's been fun, kind of. Oh, and I'm not pregnant, so no worries.
More like a huge cylinder. Has a diameter of, what would you say, Professor Jesse? What would you say, what's the diameter of the...
About 30 yards.
About 30 yards. The metal on the sheet is, well, I've never seen anything like it. The color is sort of yellowish white. Curious spectators now are pressing close to the object in spite of the efforts of the police to keep it back.
Candace, it's Ralph. Tell Dad there's no way in hell I'm spending nuclear Armageddon trapped with him in a fucking closet.
You can have my number. It's 6. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got a mushroom cloud to walk into. Have a happy Holocaust.
Step closer, please. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mr. Wilson.
I was listening to the radio.
Louder, please.
Pardon?
Louder, please.
I was listening to the radio and kind of drowsy. That professor fellow was talking about Mars. So I was half dosed, half...
Yes, Mr. Wilson, and then what happened?
Well, as I was saying, I was listening to the radio, kind of halfway.
So I don't have all of them.
Then you saw something.
Not first off. I heard something.
And what did you hear?
Hissing sound like this. Kind of like 4th of July rocket.
Yes, then what?
I turned my head out the window and would have sworn I was dreaming.
Yes?
Seen a kind of greenish streak and then bingo. Something smacked the ground. Knocked me clear out of my chair.
Well, were you frightened, Mr. Wilson?
Well, I ain't quite sure. Reckon I was kind of riled.
Well, thank you, Mr. Wilson. Thank you very much. No, that's quite all right. That's quite all right. Ladies and gentlemen, you've just heard Mr. Wilson, owner of the farm where this thing has fallen. I wish I could say the atmosphere, the background of this fantastic scene. Hundreds of cars that park in the field and back to the street that are trying to walk off the roadway, leading into the farm, but it's no use. They're breaking right through. Cars' headlights showing an enormous spotlight on the tip where the object has been.
Alright, so that's everything in the northeast, the northwest, except for Vault 87, which we can't get to, no matter how hard we try. So everything else is down here in Northern Virginia.
Inside the object. I'll move the microphone nearer. Here.
Well, DC and Maryland, I think.
25 feet away. Can you hear it now?
Yeah.
Professor
No, no, the Pentagon's in Arlington.
Inside the thing.
Possibly the unequal cooling of the surface.
Yeah, so like Northern Virginia.
Metal case is definitely extraterrestrial. Not found on this Earth. The Earth
DC.
usually tears holes in the meteorite. Holes. Field
Something's happening. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Britain.
Actually,
This end of the thing is beginning to break off. Top is beginning to rotate like a screw, and the thing must be hollow.
we do have to go to the Red Racer factory, don't we?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the most terrifying thing I've ever witnessed. Wait a minute.
Now try and hide from this!
Turning on the black hole through a luminous disc. The eyes might be a face, might be almost a shadow like a great snake. Now it's another one.
Too fun!
What the fuck?
We now return you to Carl Phillips at Grover's Mill.
Ladies and gentlemen,
attacking men. It strikes them head on. Lord, they're turning into flames. Now the whole field's caught by the woods of the fire. There's gas tanks, the automobiles spreading everywhere. Coming this way now. About 20 yards. Ladies and gentlemen, due to circumstances beyond our control, we are unable to continue the broadcast from Grover's Mill. Evidently, there's some difficulty in our field transmission. However, we will return to that point at the earliest opportunity. In the meantime, we have a late bulletin from San Diego, California. Professor Indlecofer, speaking at the dinner of the California Astronomical Society, expressed the opinion that the explosions on Mars are undoubtedly nothing but severe volcanic disturbances on the surface of the planet. We continue now with our piano interview.
Authoritative information, either their nature, their origin, or their purposes here on Earth. On their destructive instrument, I might mention some conjectural explanations. For want of a better term, I shall refer to the mysterious weapon as a heat ray. Also evidence these creatures have scientific knowledge far in advance of our own. It's my guess that in some way they are able to generate an intense heat in the chamber practically.
This is gonna be fun!
Damn, we got a nice little thing going on here.
They are now under control. Scouts report all quiet in the pit, and there is no sign of life appearing from the mountain facility. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have a special statement from Mr. Harry McDonald, Vice President in charge of operations.
We have received a request from the state militia federal.
Had a whole ass operation going on over here. Nice.
In view of the gravity of the situation, believing that radio has a responsibility to serve in the public interest at all times, we are turning over our facilities to the state militia advance.
Here's the Red Racer Factory.
In all things, the cow part must remain.
Now engaged in military operations in the vicinity of Broken Mill. Situation arising from the reported presence of certain individuals of unidentified nature is now under complete control. Cylindrical objects.
Hold it right there. What are you doing here? Mercier didn't make it? Damn. How do they expect us to play when we don't even have enough people on our team? Well, as long as you brought the formula, I guess we're still in the game. The name's Goli Ledoux, and I'm captain of Sudden Death Overtime, the last of the ice gangs. There was a time where every city had their own ice gangs, and thousands would show up to watch them all duke it out in giant arenas. We aim to bring those days back. That's up to you. I'm putting 250 caps up on the score. Nicely played. And I know talent when I see it. Here you go. Okay, team.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have a grave announcement to make. Incredible as it may seem, both the observations of science and the evidence of our
Sorry, we've got practice. Maybe we'll cross sticks again one day.
beings who landed in the Jersey farmland here.
That's a Red Racer Factory.
The vanguard of the invading army from the planet Mars.
There's
The battle which took place tonight at Grover Hill
Outcast
is one of
Post.
the most shocking defeats ever suffered by an army in modern times.
Maybe it's up
7,000
here.
men armed with rifles and machine guns pitted against a single fighting machine of the invaders from Mars. 120 known survivors. The rest flew over the battle area to the broken boats and flamethrowers, crushed and trampled to death under the metal feet of the monster. A very simple fight. The monsters now controlled a little section of New Jersey, expected to cut the state to its center. Communication lines are down to Pennsylvania.
Oh, goddammit.
Railroad tracks were torn and service from New York to Philadelphia was considered except routing some of the trains through Allerton and Phoenixville. Highways for the north, south, and west are clogged with frantic human traffic. Police and army reserves are unable to control the mad flight. By morning, the fugitives will have swelled Philadelphia, Camden, and Trenton, with designated to fight their normal population. Martial law prevails throughout New
Oh,
Jersey.
where is this fucking...
At this time, we take you to watch
Supposed to be an outpost. Maybe it's in here.
Citizens of the nation, I shall not try to feel the gravity of the situation, nor the concern of your government in protecting the lives and property of its people. However, I wish to impress upon you, private citizens and public officials, all of you, the urgent need of calm and resourceful action. Fortunately, this formidable enemy is still confined to a small area. Our basic guard. We must continue the performance of our duty each and every
Game's over! Next time, put up a fight!
united, courageous
Fox, they're just fucking ghouls, man.
on this earth.
Just ghouls.
You have just heard the Secretary of the Interior speaking to Washington.
The War of the Worlds by H.G. Wells, starring Orson Welles and the Mercury Theater on the Edge.
death wish? Walking through a war zone?
Listen,
On my target! Outcast!
I feel safer trailing these monsters than running away. And I keep a careful watch. I've seen the Martians. Should one of their machines peer over the top of trees, I'm ready to fling myself flat on the earth. Come to a chestnut tree. Chestnuts are ripe. Fill my pockets. Keep alive. 2 days I wander in a vague northerly direction through a desolate world. Finally, I noticed a living creature. A small red squirrel in a beech tree. I stare at him in wonder. He stares back at me. I believe at that moment the animal and I shared the same emotion. Joy at finding another living being. Push on north. Find dead cows in a brackish field, and beyond the charred ruins of a dairy and silo. Maybe standing guard over the wasteland like a lighthouse. Deserted by the sea. Astride the silo perches a weathercock, the arrow.
Shit.
City, vaguely familiar in contrast, building strangely dwarfed and leveled off as if a giant had sliced off its highest towers with a capricious sweep.
Yeah, that was nice.
last broadcast. We'll stay here to the end. People are holding service here below us. The people. Now I look down the harbor, all manner of boats, overloaded with fleeing population, pulling out stock. Streets are all jammed. Noise is starting like New Year's Eve in the city. Wait a minute. The enemy is now inside of us. Five.
Oh, you went! I got very bad!
First one is crossing the river. I can see it from here. Waiting like a man waiting for the road. Marching cylinders are
Oh!
people in the streets see it now. They're rushing towards the river, thousands of them, dropping in like rats. Now the smoke's spreading faster. It's Times Square. People are trying to run away from it, but it's no use. They're falling like flies. Now the smoke crossing 6th Avenue. 5th Avenue. 100 yards away. It's 50 feet.
Fucking serious? We catch all the fucking radiation. So you're saying that I cannot get up there? I can't do that. That's fucking crazy.
I'm obsessed by the thought that I may be the last living man on Earth. Hiding in this empty house near Grover's Mill.
There are times
cut off by the black smoke.
the primal part of me pulling me away.
For the arrival of these monstrous creatures in the world now seems part of another life. Life that has no continuity with the present. Furtive existence, the lonely derelict who penciled these words on the back of some astronomical note bearing Richard Pearson. Look down at my blackened hand. Try to connect them with a professor who lives at Princeton and who, on the night of October 20th, glimpsed through his telescope an orange flash of light on a distant planet. My wife, my colleagues, my
must walk softly.
Right? Live and eat. Find moldy bread in the kitchen. Orange, boiled, swallow.
Oh, come on.
Time to time I catch sight of a Martian above the black smoke. Smoke still holds the house in its black coil. Like hissing sound, and suddenly I see a Martian mounted on his machine, spraying the air with a jet of steam as it dissipates smoke. I watch in the corner his huge metal legs nearly brush against the house. Exhausted by terror, I fall asleep. Morning. Sun sinks in the west. Black cloud of gas is lifted and scorched meadows torn from the black snowstorm. I venture from the house and make my way to a road. Get in a wrecked car, bag it over the flashing skeleton. Push on north.
Pisses me off.
For some reason I feel safer trailing even on knowing west. And I keep a careful watch. I've seen the Martians. Seize. If one of their machines kills the top trees, I'm ready to fling myself flat on the earth. We're just... That's right. Well, I thought... 2 days I wander in a vague northerly direction through a desolate world. Finally, I notice a living creature. A small red squirrel in a beech tree. Stare at it.
So I assume this is where we do the Operation Anchorage.
At that moment, the animal and I share the same emotion. Joy of finding another living being. Push on north. Find dead cows in a brackish field beyond the charred ruins of a dairy. Can't stand guard over the wasteland like a lighthouse. Deserted by the sea. Stride the fallow perches a weathercock, the arrow.
I'm gonna go stretch my legs real quick. Let me see what time it is. Oh, it's 2:41. Okay.
Next day I come to a city. City vaguely familiar in its contours, with buildings strangely dwarfed and leveled off.
We will do Red Racer Factory tomorrow, or Sunday morning. We've still got a bunch of stuff to do in here as well. And the Red Racer Factory is the last thing we need to do outside of the DC capital area in Camp. And once we finish all of these, we'll be moving on to Mothership Zeta.
Many places.
But for now, go home. I'm getting very tired. My cat is looking at me sideways.
Hey.
Literally.
There's no food here. This is my country. All this end is down the river. There's only food.
Not really looking at me. He's fast fucking asleep, but
Where you go?
I don't know.
it is late.
I guess I'm looking.
Welcome home, sir.
There it is. 1, 2, 3, 4 more to go. Not looking too shabby, guys.
Have you seen any Martians?
Which means we got a lot of stuff to do still yet. We got to get into the Keller family bunker, and a couple of other things. So we're not done here at all with the DC Wasteland just yet. There we go. And deposit our Yeah. We might be able to get 30 quantums in here before we finish the game. That would be something cool. Huh? Mr. Fox? So, we did cover everything that I wanted to cover tonight. We got the Charnel House, which wasn't all that much. And then we got Evergreen Mills, which was a number of things, but not as difficult as I remember it being. And we also recovered another Keller family transcript, a couple bobbleheads, or at least one bobblehead tonight, one last night, or the night before. We also uncovered the Red Racer Factory, an Outcast outpost, discovered the other end of Bailey's Crossroads. So we are closing in on the end of all of the locations. Like this is the last push here in the DC area. Because Arlington's pretty much done except for like actually doing the Red Racer Factory. So we're moving along quite well.
We don't know. We gotta learn plenty before we get a chance. We gotta live and keep free while we learn. You see?
So, yeah, we did make some progress today. That wasn't bad at all. Had a hiccup with the channel, or with Kick, but we resolved that fairly quickly. I apologize having to restart the stream. Oh. But it's like 2:30 in the morning. And I feel like 2 hours is about enough for everybody to be entertained, involved, and not be like too bored. You know, I know some of you do. I do have something else in here. I know some of y'all don't mind watching, and you know, some of you definitely probably do other things while you're watching, which I appreciate, and I do as well when I'm watching like playthroughs. But I do appreciate everybody being here. I do. I hope you'll continue to stay with me. We've got a lot of gaming to do. And this way I get to make a meal out of all of Fallout 3, and we've got a bunch of other games to do. Cyberpunk's still on the list, and we need to finish Oblivion, and a few other things. We're gonna jump back into Death Trash, some Bolt Gun, and some other games that are coming on the horizon. It's just, I'm very picky about my games. And I have to want to sink myself into them. Atomfall, that's coming soon. Stalker 2, we got to finish that one as well. Thank you much, Merlin, for being here. I appreciate it, dude. I really do. Ranger, thank you for popping in. I will probably see you tomorrow night, but don't quote me, because like I come home like late as fuck, and either I muster the courage or the energy to sit here and do some streaming, or I pass the fuck out. Sometimes passing the fuck out wins. But if things work out tomorrow and I'm not too exhausted after a 10-hour shift, then I will see you. If not, Sunday or Monday. You know, no biggie. I just released a new short film. So, if you want something to watch and you haven't seen the stream I did with all of these, go check it out on the channel. Like, subscribe, share, follow, all of those things. They help me out tremendously. be safe, be happy, be healthy. Enjoy your weekend. Make sure you go out and get some sunshine. Drink plenty of water. Lord knows I need to. I love you guys so much. And I will see you in the next stream. Easy, guys.